the AI that like the models that we were using back then at the beginning of the year were very different from the ones that we already have now, right? So, well, I think it progresses so quick. But the thing is that obviously Google also tries to shut these things off to prevent what we were trying to do, basically, which was cheating the system in some sense.
I'm Nicole MacLean, and this is Content Matters, created in partnership with Share Your Genius. This show is your digital partner for filtering the trends and focusing on the content that matters most, creating connection that drives results. Let's cut through the marketing chaos together.
So I'm Miki, I'm founder of Tailride. Tailride is a finance automation company. We focus mainly on pre-accounting, and we are from Spain.
Where in Spain?
From Barcelona.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. So I'm very excited to have you on the show because I actually came across a LinkedIn post that you shared where what probably felt like a nightmare kind of turned into a really good story. I don't know if I want to say fairy tale yet. You can kind of let us know. But it was great to see kind of some good, helpful content on LinkedIn these days when sometimes it's not always that. Could you just maybe kick off and share a little bit on like what you were looking to do and kind of what happened?
Yeah, sure. So basically we were kicking off with Tailride, which, we started with the company around 9 to 10 months ago. So we were just basically starting with our marketing strategy, and obviously SEO, it was something that we needed to work on. We already had some experience on it, so we decided to, let's try using AI on it, because obviously everyone was talking about AI, right? So, as we started the strategy, we started testing with the AI tools. We started testing with, creating this content at scale. And, at first it went well, and then through time, we ended up getting penalized by Google. So, now suppose that we're going to go over the specifics.
Yeah. So what was that timing between, you said it kind of started going well. Was that in the first couple of weeks, the first couple of months?
So it was around 3 months. 3 months that it was working well. It's true that obviously at first there was some delay until Google actually picked up our new pages and they started working. But yeah, there were around 3 months in which we were growing our traffic, growing everything. And yeah, that's basically like we started very in a small scale, and then we tried making it on a higher scale, and that's what didn't work well.
And how quickly was that drop? Was it like an overnight, oh my gosh, something, we got penalized and it just really...
Yeah, it was exactly overnight. It absolutely dropped to zero completely. We stopped getting clicks, we stopped getting impressions from Google, and then basically, at first we thought maybe this is just a bug, and this is just that Search Console, it's not showing the actual traffic. But yeah, we were losing the traffic also, so then we thought maybe it's something else. And that's when we decided to start trying and dig up what the issue was, and that was not easy, as obviously Google didn't tell us anything.
Right. So what was kind of your plan of attack? Like, did you look at technical first, or how did you kind of get to the point that you think it was the content?
The first thought was, it's a bug. Let's try and contact Google directly and solve it. Nobody answered. So
and I was gonna say, I'm sure you're probably still waiting on the phone for a call back.
Yeah. I mean, we tried all channels. We tried, even at the end, we tried reaching to Google employees via LinkedIn or things like that, and nobody ever answered. I mean, we never got any kind of answer. So yeah, that was the first thing we did. Then after maybe the first week, we started thinking, okay, this is probably a penalty, because obviously we knew that we had been creating content with AI. So we were not doing everything as Google liked. So, we didn't have a manual penalty on Search Console. So we thought maybe it is an algorithmic penalty. We checked on the Google updates. there had been an update around 3 weeks before, and we didn't really know what the cause was. And then what we tried to do was speaking with other people. We tried talking to people that we knew, SEO consultants, SEO experts, and really the answers that we got were very, very conflicting, in the sense that some of them said, okay, this is a very clear algorithmic penalty. Some other experts said that it was just a search intent change and there was no penalty in our domain. So yeah, it was very, very frustrating because we didn't know what had happened, right?
I feel like we hear that so often with SEO is there's no clear answer a lot of the times. And so
Yeah.
that has to be hard of like, who do you trust? Which path do you go? How do you solve this in the best way possible? Like, what was your thought process in deciding kind of which recommendation to take?
Yeah, so really the first thing that we thought was, okay, let's just wait this out, right? We don't know what the answer is, so let's just wait and see if it recovers, right? Some people said, okay, this is just going to recover in 3 months, in maybe 6 months. So we said, okay, let's just wait it and see if we see some signs of recovery, as nobody obviously offered any kind of answer. So that was really the first thought. And we actually waited until 3 or 4 months after that to actually do something.
I can't imagine. I also can't imagine our CEO letting us go 3 to 4 months on that. But I feel like that had to take an incredible amount of patience to just get that data in order to really figure out what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, really, it was patience, but also we really thought if we touch something, we'll just make things worse. So let's just wait. We did do something, which was we removed all the pages that we had created using AI from our domain. So basically, we removed almost 40,000 pages just 1 week after the penalty. So the idea behind that was
40,000 pages of AI generated content.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a lot of content at scale. That's the pro and con of these tools.
Yeah, the problem was that we actually started maybe creating 50 to 100 pages, and then obviously we got excited because the first results that we got were great. We were getting sales from SEO traffic, and we just thought, okay, so let's just scale this, right? We had
if it's working, pour gas on the fire.
Yeah, so we did that. We just got too excited. We just created a lot of content at the same time. And it's true that over time, like the first content that we had created using AI was great because we had reviewed it, we had checked it thoroughly. But then after some time, after lots of pages that we had already created, we got a little, crazy and just pushed a lot of really bad content.
Yeah. So that was going to be one of my questions, is the QA process that you had in place for the content. Did you have someone in-house that is your content manager or that was kind of in charge of it? Or is it more, we're scrappy, we're getting started, we kind of want to use this tool to the best of our advantage, and so multiple people maybe were kind of owning that process?
Yeah, it was very, very scrappy. I mean, obviously, like we were handling everything from our technical team. So we did have a lot of technical people involved in this, but there was nobody actually from the content side, which was reviewing the content, checking the content. So yeah, all the people involved were just trying to scale the process and really not thinking about the actual content.
Well, and it's so hard. It sounds like you, I don't want to say you did it the right way. Maybe we'll get there on what you think the right/wrong way is today. But doing it with a lot of oversight, and then slowly but surely, I think you would also hope that it's learning and it's picking up what you're changing. And eventually it kind of has gotten, like if you were training an employee, those initial projects, you're going to want to be more hands-on. You're going to want to make sure you're giving feedback, but you would expect by a certain number of projects, they kind of know the gist and what needs to happen. But it sounds like that's not quite what happened in this case.
I mean, we were just trying a lot of things. Some of them were working, and we were just trying to scale it, right? So I think that we kind of overdid it. We got too excited and we did too much of it, which I think that the AI wasn't actually the problem there. I think that we could have used AI in that case to create more content, better content, but yeah, not that at that scale in which we ended up pushing a lot of bad content.
So what would you say, like if you could go back in that content creation process, would you change or maybe you're doing today in the creation of content?
Well, the first thing I would do is just not create that amount of content. Maybe at least not in our stage, in the sense that we had just launched our business, launched it. The domain was very, very recent, and we basically had no authority, and also no big pages that were ranking, no other SEO content created by humans. So we had no Google history, right? So I think we should have started with the most basic things, building some authority, building some great backlinks, and yeah, basically waiting some time. And then I would have done a similar thing that we did at the start. It was use AI to help on the process, but not just make it the process, right? And yeah, basically these two things, and that's something that we are doing right now. After some time, we are still using AI in some sense, but just to help us with the process.
Are you comfortable sharing which AI tool or tools that you used for the content creation?
We were using mainly everything we coded ourselves. We are using Cursor a lot to code everything from our platform to all these scripts that we were using to create the content. So basically, we were just coding everything and using mainly OpenAI models at that time. So that right now we are using also, we're trying to use other type of models, not just OpenAI models. Mainly we were doing that. And yeah, that's what we use right now. We don't use any kind of tool. We just try to encode everything to have our own workflows for our AI needs.
And is that more of a technical person who understands that coding and kind of how to integrate an OpenAI integration into those workflows?
Yeah, I think it's probably with time, I think it will be more accessible. But I think that right now you have to be some kind of technical to be able to create this structure. But yeah, I mean, there are thousands of tools in which you can use and do the same things without having to actually code. It's true that probably they are more expensive, but you can still do it.
What do you think is the sweet spot of robot and human to kind of create a good final piece?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I think that it depends on how long you want your process to be. What we are trying right now to do is just not make it the first step in our content creation workflow, because when we started with the AI writing the content for us at first, it just then gets very, very difficult to change the content, to work on the content, because you already have all the content for you, right? And it just biases us a lot to start in the process just by creating content with AI already. So we try to involve it maybe best in the ideation part, which we are creating the content ideas. And then also in the reviewing part, we used a lot to review the content pieces. And yeah, but we try now and not use it much in the writing step.
Deadlines looming and you're juggling a million projects? Maybe you've tried outsourcing to an agency before, but how can you be sure that they're going to deliver on your specific goals, on time, and on budget? Well, look no further than Clutch, the #1 leading marketplace for B2B service providers. Clutch streamlines your search, helping you kick off projects faster so you can focus on what you do best. On Clutch, you can select from over 2,000 unique services and specialties to quickly narrow in on a comprehensive list of the agencies best for your project. Then filter down to a short list of qualified providers through filters, or use Clutch's Project Brief technology to match you to the best fits. From there, just compare the providers by reading in-depth verified client reviews to learn more about the work that these agencies have done for businesses like yours, so you can make a confident hiring decision. Get matched to the best agencies for your business and request quotes at clutch.co/content matters. You'll be one step closer to having those projects off your never-ending to-do list so you can shift focus back to the big picture. That's clutch.co/content matters. That's so interesting because similar to way you say SEOs came to you and they all had a different opinion of what was going on. I hear that on the writing. Some people say it's great for ideation. Some say, no, ideas are the only things that humans can truly come up with. It's like, don't use it for ideation. Use it for a first draft because it's great to get you past writer's block. No, don't use it for a first draft because it still sounds like AI. Like it's so, there's, you could get 100 people in the room and have 100 different opinions on the right way to use these tools. But something we've seen, obviously we're a content writing company. We are experimenting with humans, with AI first and human edited, or human first with AI along the way. And I do think that what you said is kind of what we see is if you start with AI, at the end of the day, you're probably going to spend more time trying to get it to not sound like AI than if you had just started there from the beginning. There's not really enough light edits you can make that will kind of take away from the core of it being AI versus finding those spots, still having a human in the maybe driver's seat, using GPTs to help with intros, using GPTs to help with conclusions or different things along the way, the review process. But that I think I fall in a similar camp of what you're explaining.
Yeah, I mean, I also think that it's true that it's progressing so fast that maybe what we are talking today, it's not valid for in 3 months or maybe in 6 months, right? So I just feel that even now, the AI that like the models that we were using back then at the beginning of the year were very different from the ones that we already have now, right? So, well, I think it progresses so quick. But the thing is that obviously Google also tries to shut these things off to prevent what we were trying to do, basically, which was cheating the system in some sense.
Yeah, and I think the volume, you mentioned this, but the combination of maybe AI and volume with such a new domain probably was a unique situation, and kind of taking it slow and steady. It feels like the volume of content play is, I don't want to say dead because everyone says the XYZ tactic is dead, but it's potentially just looking at it in a little different way or being a little more cautious with just how much volume goes up at a time.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to copy some of the big players in our company, similar like us, but they were much bigger and they were old in the sense that they had a big track record. So I think that these companies, when you have the authority, you can kind of pull this off, but not when you are starting at first.
I just have to commend you for being so transparent and authentic in this process. We'll share it if you're interested in the show notes of this episode. There's a full blog recap. I think you might have seen that when I shared the LinkedIn post of kind of everything. And even just reading through that and in your LinkedIn, it's just so humble. Like there's a headline where you say, what did we do wrong? Pretty much everything. Like you're just really embracing this kind of constant iteration. Like that's just kind of what it sounds like is, hey, we tried something. It didn't work. We learned from it. We're doing better, but also maybe let me share with other people so they can get better. And I think this is the content that we all want in today's world. But when there are so many talking heads, it can sometimes get drowned out. So, I mean, just as someone who's looking to learn too, like, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah, I think that it's not easy in the sense that then you also get the part of people that appreciate that, but then you also get all the opinions of people that are telling you how you should have done it, right? And I mean, it's true that obviously this is very helpful to know after the fact that we should have done it differently. But yeah, you're just trying to share the story, right? And you already have, when you're starting, you have a lot of conflicting opinions, and it's difficult to know who or what you should follow, right? So yeah, I mean, it's part of how we approach things.
Well, and when you're trying to be an early adopter, you don't have the benefit of, you kind of took the hit for people, for folks who are maybe a little more hesitant with these tools to say, no, you can use it. Like AI was not the sole problem here. It was circumstances. It was a lot of things. It's a tool that you can use effectively, but you have to wield it effectively.
Yeah, definitely.
I noticed that your blog post was hosted on your actual website, which you're selling to finance persona, correct?
Yeah.
Like, is the actual buyer like a CFO or like director of finance?
Yeah.
So in theory, I would suspect that most CFOs or directors of finance aren't maybe as in tune or as interested in this topic as, say, a marketer would be. But you have this really great, like I said, transparent, authentic blog post on your site sharing the story that seemingly I would imagine most finance people aren't interested in. I'd love just to know, like, what was your thought about hosting it on the site? And is there any concern on your persona reading that and getting the wrong opinion or not understanding?
Yeah, I mean, we basically try and just not share with our users about our software, how our software works, but trying and be more transparent also about our business, about kind of building in public and creating this confidence with our users about who we are, about what we do, about the things that don't work for us, which maybe is SEO, but sometimes we also create a new feature which works very bad. We have to say sorry. And well, we try and be very, very transparent with everything we do. We email our users every week, and maybe we share things that are completely unrelated to our actual software. So we create this kind of relationship, which is very good for confidence. And well, we actually have a great experience doing that. And then we also take some great relationships with our users, and some of them actually wrote to us and sent some feedback. Even one sent a Loom video, which was 10 minutes about how we could fix our issue or how we should create our content instead. So it's actually great, and we had never actually done it before very publicly, but I think it helped, and it's helpful in building this kind of virtual relationships.
That is really cool to hear, actually. And especially whether it's AI or not, but I think everyone's looking for that trust in a vendor. Like, their resources are tight, both budget and personnel resources. And I feel like everyone's very risk averse just in bringing on any sort of vendor. And that trust is, I think, so important. And so I love that you're building that. Full stop.
Yeah, I mean, not everything was good. Obviously, we also had some bad comments, some bad feedback. But I mean, that's what usually happens with everything, right?
The good with the bad. So you're obviously still leaning into SEO. I mentioned everyone loves to throw out that XYZ tactic is dead. SEO is dead is obviously something a lot of people like to say. You're still here in 2025, adapting, and you were seeing actual sales revenue success at the beginning, leaning into an organic strategy. Is organic still like a big part of kind of what you guys are looking at today?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Organic is everything that we are trying. It's true that when you are starting out, when you don't have, maybe you didn't raise money, you have to look into organic acquisition channels because you don't have much money. So that's what we're trying to do. It's true that we've tried and investing more in other channels like YouTube, LinkedIn, which work differently. But yeah, we had to do that because basically SEO was dead for us for 3-4 months. But yeah, since then, we actually did a rebrand on the business, which was not only related to the domain, but was part because of the penalty. And then after that, we are still investing on SEO. We still believe that SEO is very, very important. And I don't personally think that it's going to be dead any soon. So yeah, right now we are still creating content. It's true that, as I was saying before, we are not using AI, just AI to create it. And we are posting much less. We are just creating maybe 5 pages per week, something like that Google can digest. and well, also see how it evolves for us and how it's working for us. And then maybe we can scale, or we're just very cautious right now with SEO.
So dropping from 22,000 pages to 5 a week, has that shifted your keyword strategy? And are you going after maybe bottom of funnel keywords more versus are you still kind of thinking as a topical pillar structure?
Yeah, with all these pages, we were trying to rank for a lot of the long tail keywords. And now we're just targeting our main keywords. And yeah, I think that both of the strategies are good. But right now, for us, as this strategy has reached, we are trying to target the main keywords which make more sense. And also, we already have some more authority than that we didn't have at the beginning, right? So maybe in the future, we consider again targeting long tail keywords. But yeah, I believe that obviously targeting the main keywords makes more sense for us now.
Yeah, absolutely. As you just think about using different AI tools, thinking about an acquisition strategy, any maybe final advice you'd leave to marketers or business leaders who are kind of trying to figure out the same thing?
Well, I just, how we brought about this, we try and try everything that's out there. We test it for ourselves. We try and not buy any kind of strategy that someone says it's working without actually testing ourselves. We sometimes test it too much, which was the case. But yeah, we try a lot of tools. We try a lot of the new models. We try video. We try also audio. We try everything. And I think that you have to just focus on one thing, right? I think that you can make everything work, but just you need to focus to that. You need to, iterate a lot in one platform, in one type of content. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to focus right now on a couple of channels at most and trying and squeeze them a lot before maybe investing more into SEO or another type of channel.
All right, last question. So you had a semi-viral, I don't really know the true definition of viral these days, but a pretty viral LinkedIn post. Any like meaningful quantitative results from having a post? Like I think everyone's always looking to say, everyone's always trying to do that founder-led content, get the post that, goes viral. That'll change everything. That'll bring us business. Did that actually happen for you?
Well, it did bring business. I mean, we did bring new customers. It was nothing crazy. It was not life-changing, but it helped. And I think that we right now have some more maybe followers. I don't know how I would call that, but I think that we have more people that are following us in some way, or at least have heard about us. So I think that that's great. I mean, the numbers are not very, very impressive, but the impact, I think, has been actually great. And obviously, when I was creating this post, it was not the main goal. I mean, you don't know when something's going to work well or something is going to just flop. But in this case, it indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the one you always think is going to go lightning and it flops. And then I think one of my...
Or the one that you invest the least amount of time writing, which was the case, is the one that works. So, I mean, in this case, I'm just trying to keep doing it. And let's see if in the future we get a similar opportunity.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Content Matters, created in partnership with Share Your Genius. If you like the show, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend. Otherwise, you can find all the resources you need to stay connected with us in the show notes. Till next time.